We are all great fans of superheroes, and we have once in a while dream of becoming one. You will be amazed to know that there are real superheroes among us. Their extreme superpowers are purely natural, and the most shocking thing is that they are just kids today. We are going to unveil some of the top 10 with real superpowers. Number 1. Adas the Unfreezable. Humans begin to experience hypothermia when their core body temperature sinks below 95 degrees Fahrenheit, with death usually occurring below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. But in late 2014, a Polish toddler defied these principles, inconceivably surviving a harrowing night outside in the freezing cold, during which his core body temperature plummeted to an inhuman 54 degrees Fahrenheit, reported The Guardian. After a few days in an induced coma, Adas emerged essentially unscathed. Number 2. Lucas the Echolocator. Lucas Murray, who was born blind, learned to use his ears to see when he was just 5 years old. He does this by clicking his tongue against the roof of his mouth and then listening for echoes, which tell him of objects that are in his vicinity. This process, known as echolocation, is common among bats, dolphins, and some species of whale. It's almost unheard of in humans, although Lucas learned how from a man named Daniel Kish. But Lucas mastered it in 3 days' time and uses it to get around independently. He's shown here with his mother, Sarah. Number 3. Aurelian the Autobiographer. Memory loss can be devastating, but imagine losing the ability to forget. When Aurelian Heyman was 11 years old, that's precisely what happened, at least with regard to autobiographical events. Now an adult, he can describe any past moment from his life in incredible detail, from what he ate, to the temperature, to the music that was on the radio. In 2012, he was featured in a documentary titled The Boy Who Can't Forget. Number 4. The Bionic Boy with the Super Dad. At just 10 days old, Saul Ryan suffered a blood clot that required his left arm to be amputated. When his parents learned there were no truly functional prosthetic options for him, his dad, Ben Ryan, set about designing what is essentially a bionic arm for Saul. Then he 3D printed it. Not only did it give Saul his superpowers, but it also makes him look incredibly high-tech cool. Number 5. Wolf Boy, or the Boy Who Was Raised by Wolves. In 1976, a boy of about 10 was found living among a pack of wolves in an Indian forest. The boy, who'd never lived among humans, walked on all fours and subsisted on raw meat. Survived for another 10 years under the care of Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity. Ramu, as he was called, learned to bathe and wear clothes, but he was never able to speak and never lost his taste for raw meat or his well-developed instinct to hunt. He's shown here with Mother Teresa. Number 6. The musical genius. Czech pianist Lux von der Sek gave his first public concert at the age of 4, placing him well within the definition of a prodigy, a child who demonstrates professional abilities before the age of 10. Prodigies are as rare as 1 in 10 million, and many struggles past childhood. But Lux, now 32, has beaten the odds, making him even more of a rarity. Here are 11 signs you could be raising a child genius. Number 7. The youngest professional magician. Daniel Rhodes, now 15, was already a professional magician/illusionist by the time he was 9, making him one of the youngest professional magicians in the world and the youngest in Great Britain. Number 8. The boy who survived being crushed alive. Domenico Bacon shouldn't even be alive. In 2007, when he was just 3 years old, he'd just been picked up from daycare when a 40-foot tree crashed down on him, crushing his skull and his legs. Yet Domenico not only survived without significant brain damage, but he also, inconceivably, learned how to walk again. Number 9. The boy with the enormous IQ. Jacob Barnett was diagnosed with autism when he was 2, with his doctors predicting he'd never even be able to tie his own shoes. But the doctors were wrong. It turns out Jacob has an IQ of 170, which is 30 points higher than Albert Einstein's. He finished grades 6 through 12 in less than a year, went to college at age 10, and became a published physicist by 13. Number 10. The girl with the mathematical superpowers. At age 10, math prodigy Ruth Lawrence became the youngest person to be accepted to Oxford University. There, she completed her degree in 2 years and scored the highest grades of any of her fellow students. Although child prodigies rarely become adult geniuses, Lawrence defies the odds. Now 47, she's a mathematician and an associate professor of mathematics at the Einstein Institute of Mathematics. Number 11. The youngest member of Mensa. Adam Kirby was only 2 years old when he scored 141 on the Stanford Binet IQ test, qualifying him for membership in Mensa. the International Society for Geniuses. While most toddlers are busy learning to walk and scribbling on walls, child prodigy Adam Kirby enjoys reading Shakespeare, learning Japanese, Spanish, and French, and even potty trained himself. His parents realized there was something unusual about Adam when he potty trained himself at age 1. Do you know any people like this? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to give us a big thumbs up and leave us some love in the comment section, and be sure to hit subscribe and turn your notifications on to never miss a thing. Until next time, take care of yourself.